In the quiet darkness of space, the Galactic Empire's largest cruiser slipped into the edge of the solar system. For years, the Empire had explored and conquered worlds across the stars, meeting little resistance. They had heard the rumors about Earth, about strange messages and warnings, but never took them seriously. To them, Earth was just another planet, waiting to be studied, maybe even controlled. Aboard the cruiser, Admiral Thorix watched the blue-green planet on the main screen. The planet looked peaceful, spinning slowly with clouds swirling over oceans and land. He turned to his crew, a mix of different alien species, and smiled. "So this is Earth," he said, his voice calm but proud. "Let's see what all the fuss is about." A junior officer named Mia, working deep in Earth's space, Defense Headquarters, monitored the incoming signals as part of her daily routine. Most days were boring, full of quiet screens and small alarms that meant nothing. But tonight, her screen flashed a bright red. An unknown ship had entered the solar system, one bigger and more advanced than any she had seen before. Her heart started to race, but she did what she was trained to do. She pressed the warning button and sent the standard message that every human defense officer knew by heart. "Earth is off limits by galactic order. Leave now or face consequences." Her voice was steady, but inside, she wondered if anyone out there would listen. On the Empire's cruiser, the message appeared on their screens. Admiral Thorix laughed, shaking his head. "Who do these humans think they are?" he said, grinning, at his bridge officers. "They're just trying to scare us. Ignore it." The crew relaxed. Some even joked about Earthlings thinking they could stop the Empire's might. But then, things began to change. The lights on the ship flickered. Communication with the Empire's home base became full of static and noise. Navigation screens started showing strange readings. A technician reported, "Sir, our systems are being jammed. I can't explain it. It's like something is blocking us from every direction." Admiral Thorix frowned. He ordered the tech crew to fix the problems, but nothing worked. Every time they tried to send a signal, it bounced back with odd, ghostly echoes. On the screen, brief images of human faces and strange symbols appeared. For a split second, then disappeared. Down on Earth, Mia watched as the data from the cruiser became more and more confusing. She knew the Human Defense Network was working in the background, using secret technology that even she didn't fully understand. Humans had learned long ago that it was better to hide their true power until the time was right. In the Empire's war room, the officers debated their next move. Some wanted to retreat and wait for more orders. Others wanted to send a small landing team to study Earth directly. "We should land and see what's really happening," said Commander Liss, a strong-willed officer who always wanted action. "Maybe these are just old Earth tricks." Admiral Thorix nodded. "We'll send a team, small and quick. No one needs to know." He looked at his team, confident that nothing bad could happen to the Empire's best. Meanwhile, on Earth, life seemed normal. People walked their dogs, drove their cars, and cooked dinner with their families. But in secret, the world's leaders met over secure channels. They knew about the cruiser in orbit. Earth's defense fleet waited quietly, hidden and ready, but no one wanted to start a war. In a forest far from the big cities, a group of kids camped with their parents. They looked up and saw strange lights in the sky, brighter than usual. One of the kids, Tommy, pointed up. "Look, Mom! Are those shooting stars?" His mother smiled, not worried. "Maybe they're just satellites, honey." High above, the Empire's landing craft moved slowly through Earth's atmosphere, heading toward a quiet spot away from the cities. They thought they would go unnoticed. But hidden sensors and satellites tracked them every second, sending updates to Mia and the defense network. When the craft landed, the Empire's team stepped out in heavy suits. They scanned the area, checking for danger. Everything seemed quiet, too quiet. Suddenly, their scanners failed, and their communication to the cruiser went dead. "This shouldn't be possible," whispered one of the engineers. "We have the best tech in the galaxy." As they moved through the woods, they heard laughter. The kids from the camp spotted them and, without any fear, ran over to see the strange visitors. The Empire's team froze, surprised at how calm and curious the humans were. One of the kids waved, smiling. "Hi, are you lost?" Another held out a sandwich, offering food. The aliens stood there, not knowing what to do. In all their training, they had never faced such open kindness. Behind them, hidden cameras sent live images to Earth's defense network. Every move was watched, every word recorded. Back on the cruiser, Admiral Thorix waited for news. But his screens were full of static, and none of his officers could reach the landing team. For the first time, he felt a cold fear in his chest. "What is going on down there?" he asked quietly. On Earth, Mia and the other defense officers smiled. The humans had given their warning. Now it was up to the Empire to decide. Listen and leave, or stay and see what secrets Earth was hiding. The night grew deeper, but above the quiet planet, tension built between two worlds. Earth had always protected its people, sometimes with open hands, sometimes with secret strength. Tonight, the galaxy would begin to learn why Earth was truly off-limits. The Empire's landing team stood frozen at the edge of the camp. They had faced storms, wild beasts, and hostile aliens before, but nothing had prepared them for this. The group of human children, laughing and sharing snacks, was not a threat in any way. The lead officer, Commander Liss, glanced at her team and then at the smiling kids. She hesitated, unsure how to act. The youngest child, Tommy, offered his sandwich again. "You must be hungry. It's peanut butter." One of the aliens, a tall creature with blue skin named Zaru, looked at the food, then at the child. Zaru took a small bite. The taste was strange but sweet. The other children giggled. The human parents soon noticed the new arrivals. Instead of fear, they showed curiosity. Tommy's father walked over, his voice calm. "Are you folks from out of town?" The Empire's team did not know what to say. They nodded, trying to act like travelers. As the children talked, their parents offered the strangers chairs and drinks. The Empire's team was shocked by how trusting and kind humans could be, even to those who looked so different. Back on the cruiser, Admiral Thorix grew impatient. He had not received any report from the landing party. The static on his screens grew worse, and all attempts to send new commands failed. The ship's systems flickered. The bridge officers worked non-stop to fix the problems, but nothing helped. Thorix called the Empire's main base for support, but the message only returned with more static and odd, ghostly images. Sometimes faces, sometimes strange symbols from Earth's languages. "It is as if Earth itself is blocking us," whispered one of his engineers. Thorix felt a chill. This was no simple planet. On Earth, Mia watched her screens in the defense center. She tracked every move of the landing team and the cruiser in orbit. She saw how the human families greeted the aliens. Her supervisor, Commander Bradley, watched with her. "We let them get comfortable," he said softly. "They'll see Earth isn't as weak as it looks." The Empire's landing. Team tried to act normal. They asked questions about Earth, its people, and how things worked. The parents smiled and answered, not giving away anything important. "Earth is big," Tommy's father said, "but we like our privacy here." One of the aliens, a quiet scientist named Teven, tried to scan the area with a small device. Suddenly, the device sparked and died. "My scanner doesn't work," Teven said, hiding his worry. The other aliens found their equipment failing too. Nothing seemed to work properly on Earth. Meanwhile, the human kids were teaching the aliens simple games. The children laughed, playing tag and hide-and-seek, inviting the aliens to join. The Empire's team, used to strict rules and training, didn't know how to react. But after a while, Zaru and the others tried playing. They were clumsy and confused, but the kids cheered for them anyway. In space, the Empire's cruiser spun slowly above Earth. Admiral Thorix stared at the main screen, growing more anxious. "Something is wrong here," he said, mostly to himself. "Why do our best systems fail? Why can't we talk to our own team?" His science officer tried to reassure him. "Maybe it's just a planet-wide defense shield. We can break through." But another officer, who had heard old stories, shook his head. "Sir, the legends say Earth is not like other worlds. They say humans are different." Thorix scowled. "Stories are for children. We are the Empire. Prepare the main weapon. If they refuse to answer, we'll show them our strength." Down on Earth, the landing team grew restless. They could feel they were being watched, not only by the human families, but by the forest itself. Every time they tried to move away or contact their ship, something went wrong. Their radios crackled, then died. Their navigation tools spun wildly. Birds sang, wind rustled leaves, but the aliens felt a strange pressure, as if the planet was quietly warning them. One of the parents, a woman named Claire, looked at the Empire's team. "You seem lost," she said gently. "Are you sure you should be here?" Liz tried to smile. "We are just travelers." Claire nodded, but her eyes were sharp. Earth can be dangerous for those who don't respect it. As the sun set, the human families invited the Empire's team to share a campfire. They cooked simple food, corn, potatoes, and roasted marshmallows. The children told stories of Earth, some funny, some spooky. The aliens listened, feeling a warmth they didn't expect. Zaru wondered aloud, "Why are you so kind to strangers?" Tommy's mother smiled. "Everyone deserves kindness, until they prove otherwise." Deep in the night, Mia in the defense center watched everything. "Should we step in?" she asked her commander. Bradley shook his head. "Not yet. Let them see Earth's real power comes from its people, not just our ships or tech." On the cruiser, Admiral Thorix grew desperate. Nothing worked. He ordered a probe to drop toward Earth, hoping to learn more. But the probe burned up in the atmosphere, its last signal showing flashes of Earth's sky, blue and gold, before cutting out. As the campfire died down, the aliens felt tired. For the first time, they rested among humans. They dreamed strange dreams, visions of ancient Earth, wild storms, and great battles where humans stood together against invaders. When they woke, the human camp was gone. Only the ashes of the fire and a simple message written in the dirt remained. "Respect Earth. You are guests." The Empire's team wandered back toward their ship, shaken. Their path twisted strangely, as if the woods had changed overnight. When they finally reached their landing craft, it barely started, sparking and groaning. As they took off, they saw, for a brief moment, dozens of small lights in the sky. Earth's defense fleet, silent and invisible until now. When the Empire's team returned to the cruiser, they were met with questions. Admiral Thorix demanded a full report. Liz spoke quietly. "Earth is not what we thought. Their people are strong. Their world is alive in ways we do not understand, and their kindness is a warning." Thorix listened, but pride kept him from retreating. "We are the Galactic Empire. We do not back down. Prepare the ship's weapon systems. We'll make them talk." On Earth, Mia watched the skies, ready for what might come next. In secret, the world's leaders met again. They knew the Empire might try to force their way. Earth's fleets moved quietly, ready to show that kindness was not weakness. Across the galaxy, rumors began to spread. Earth had been visited by the Empire, and nothing went as planned. Some laughed at the Empire's struggles, but others began to wonder if the old stories about Earth were true. In hidden corners of the universe, ancient races watched and waited, knowing the real test had just begun. After the Empire's landing team returned to the cruiser, the whole ship felt different. The crew noticed the team's faces, full of worry and silent questions. Liz gave her report to Admiral Thorix, describing how the humans were friendly, but mysterious, how the forest felt alive, and how their technology kept failing. She ended her report with quiet words. Admiral, Earth is not weak. There is something we do not understand here. I recommend we leave and report this to the Council. Thorix grew impatient and angry. His pride as a leader of the Galactic Empire would not allow him to retreat, especially after hearing that humans had shown no fear. They are only humans, he said, and we are the most powerful force in the galaxy. If we show strength, they will listen. He gathered his officers for a meeting on the ship's bridge. Some agreed with him, pushing for a show of force. Others, especially the science and communication teams, warned that Earth's defenses were strange and could be dangerous. But Thorix had made his choice. Outside the cruiser, Earth spun quietly. Humans on the surface went about their daily lives. Children played, people worked and ate together, and news of the Empire's arrival was not made public. Only the highest. Leaders and defense commanders knew, keeping the planet calm and ready. Maya, working in Earth's defense headquarters, watched her screens. The Empire's cruiser powered up its main weapon. She shared this information with her commander, Bradley, who quickly alerted the Global Defense Council. Earth's secret fleet, hidden in orbit and on the moon, started moving. They were old, ships not as shiny as the Empire's, but they were fast, strong, and full of surprises. As Thorix ordered his crew to charge the main weapon, strange things started to happen again. Alarms blared on the bridge. Systems flickered and refused to respond. The weapon's energy kept draining, and no one knew why. "Sir, it's like the power is being pulled away," shouted one engineer. "Nothing is working the way it should." Thorix slammed his fist on the armrest. "Keep trying. We must show them our power." The crew worked harder, but each effort made things worse. Just then, something unexpected happened. Hundreds of small, nearly invisible ships appeared around the Empire's cruiser. The Empire's sensors did not see them coming. They looked old and out of date, their paint chipped, their engines making no sense. But they moved with speed and confidence. Every officer on the Empire's cruiser stared in shock. "Where did they come from?" an officer cried out. "Our systems should have detected them." The human fleet surrounded the Empire's cruiser, blocking every escape path. But none of the human ships fired. Instead, a message came across every screen on the Empire's ship, clear and calm. "This is Earth Defense Command. Your weapons are now disabled. Your systems are under our control. Earth is off limits. You will not be harmed if you leave." For a moment, no one spoke. Thorix's pride burned. He ordered his weapons officer to fire at one of the human ships, but when the command was sent, nothing happened. The weapons control was dead. The screens showed only static. Suddenly, all the lights went out, and the cruiser drifted in silence, powerless. Thorix's anger turned to fear. He remembered the legends of Earth, how no one who tried to take the planet by force had ever succeeded. He remembered old stories of ancient wars, where humans survived everything thrown at them. Now he wondered if he had made a mistake. Back in Earth's Defense Command, Mia and Bradley watched closely. "The plan worked," Bradley said quietly. "They won't try anything now." A second message was sent from Earth, not just to the Empire's cruiser, but to the entire galactic network. The message was simple and strong. "Respect boundaries. Earth is off limits for your own safety. We want peace, but we will not tolerate threats." News spread quickly across the galaxy. On distant worlds, leaders listened to the human warning. Some laughed, thinking the Empire would crush Earth anyway. Others felt a cold chill, remembering stories about how humans always did the unexpected. On the Empire's cruiser, the lights slowly came back. Systems started working again, but only at half power. The human ships moved aside, making a path for the cruiser to leave Earth's space. Thorix's officers looked at him, waiting for orders. For the first time, Thorix hesitated. "Prepare to leave," he said quietly. "We will report to the council." The Empire's cruiser limped away, watched by the silent human fleet. The humans did not fire, did not chase, but their message was clear. Earth was strong, and Earth was protected. On Earth, life continued as usual. Mia returned home, tired but proud. She knew her job was not over. They might come back one day, she thought, but we'll always be ready. Meanwhile, in the Empire's main council hall, Thorix stood before the leaders, telling the story of what had happened. The council was angry but also afraid. "How did Earth defeat our ship without a single shot?" one counselor demanded. Thorix could only shake his head. "They used technology we don't understand. But more than that, they used patience, kindness, and a warning we should have listened to." Across the galaxy, many races talked about what had happened at Earth. Some were impressed by human power. Others started to avoid Earth's part of space. Traders told new stories of the hidden human fleet and the strange, peaceful warning that sent the mighty Empire running. On Earth, the defense fleet disappeared once more, returning to their hidden bases. Children kept playing, parents kept working, and the planet spun on, safe and calm for now. The news of the Empire's defeat spread like wildfire through the galaxy. It was not just a small rumor. Everyone was talking about it, from the smallest mining outposts to the grand halls of the Galactic Council. Even the Empire's enemies were shocked. How could Earth, a planet many had called backward and simple, force the Empire's largest cruiser to retreat without firing a single shot? Across the galaxy, different races reacted in their own ways. On one world, a group of old traders laughed and clapped each other on the back. "Did you hear what those humans did? They turned the Empire away." An older trader with 4 arms told the others, "I met humans once. They're not as soft as they look. You never know what they'll do." On another world, in a dark council chamber, high leaders of a rival empire gathered. One asked quietly, "Should we try to reach Earth now that the Empire has failed?" Another shook her head. "No, we must wait. Let others test Earth first. Let us learn from their mistakes." Their voices were full of caution, not bravery. In the Empire's capital, Admiral Thorix faced questioning from the highest council. They wanted answers. How had the humans disabled their most powerful ship? Why had no weapons worked? Why had the landing team failed? Thorix stood tall but felt smaller with each question. He answered honestly, "Humans are not what we expected. They use technology in ways we cannot detect. But their true strength is their unity. Even their children showed no fear. They warned us, and we ignored them." The council members argued among themselves. Some wanted revenge, others wanted to study Earth from afar. But no one was eager to send more ships. The Empire's pride was hurt, and now a new caution grew inside the hearts of even the boldest leaders. Meanwhile, on Earth, the world's leaders met in secret. The president of Earth, a calm woman named Helen, spoke with the council. "The Empire may return, or maybe others will come. We must be ready, but we cannot let fear rule our planet." Leaders from every country agreed, promising to work together as they had before. In the defense headquarters, Mia and her commander Bradley watched new reports from space. Small ships from other races crept close to Earth's borders, curious but cautious. Mia tracked every signal, every movement. She sent simple messages. "Earth is peaceful, but we protect our own. Stay outside our borders and you will not be harmed." Most listened and left. Some lingered, but never dared to cross the invisible line that marked Earth's territory. One night, Mia received a message from an unexpected source, a trader ship from the Outer Rim. The captain, an old friend from an earlier mission, asked for permission to visit Earth. Mia sent the request up the chain, and after careful checks, the council allowed the trader to land. The ship touched down in a busy city, and the alien crew stepped out, nervous at first. But they found friendly people, good food, and open markets. They left with gifts and stories, promising to tell others that Earth was kind to friends. News of the trader's visit reached far corners of the galaxy. Stories changed. Now, some races saw Earth as both strong and fair. They began to respect the warning. Earth is off limits, but Earth is not your enemy if you are peaceful. In the Empire's halls, the scientists studied the strange failure of their ship's systems. Months passed, and they still could not explain it. They found nothing wrong with the cruiser. It was as if Earth itself had decided to protect its people, and nothing from outside could stop it. More and more, fear and respect grew together in the hearts of those who heard the tale. Admiral Thorix, now back on his home planet, walked alone, in the gardens of the Imperial Palace. He remembered the faces of the human children, the kindness of the Earth families, and the silent warning he had felt in the forest. He realized now that Earth's strength was not just in technology or fleets, but in the courage and unity of its people. We judged them too quickly, he thought. We let our pride blind us. On Earth, life returned to normal, but the defense teams stayed ready. Mia worked her shifts, sometimes long into the night, watching the stars. She trained new officers, sharing the lessons she had learned. Never underestimate kindness, she told them, and never mistake peace for weakness. Once, as she left work, she saw children playing in the park, chasing each other and laughing. She smiled, knowing that they were safe, at least for now, because the world stood together. She remembered the Empire's landing team, the surprise on their faces as they met human kindness. Maybe, she thought, that was the lesson the galaxy needed most. At the next Galactic Council meeting, representatives from many worlds brought up the Earth question. Some wanted new rules, others wanted peace treaties, and a few, still angry, wanted to keep their distance. Finally, the Council voted. Earth and its system would be marked as protected off-limits for the safety of all. No ship could enter without permission, and no force could threaten Earth without facing the united strength of both humans and their allies. This decision changed the galaxy. New maps showed Earth's space in bright colors, marked with strong warning signs. Traders and travelers told the story everywhere they went. Respect Earth or face what the Empire did. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the president made a simple speech, broadcast only to Earth's people. We do not seek to rule others. We only wish for peace. But we are ready to protect our home together as one people. The years moved on, but the story never faded. Children learned it in school, and adults spoke of it with pride. The world changed, but Earth remained safe. The lesson echoed far and wide. Never ignore a warning from Earth, for the price of pride is often too high. In distant space, some empires planned and plotted, but they did so quietly, knowing now what Earth could do. The Galactic Empire, once feared by all, had learned respect the hard way. The greatest victory was won without violence, only by standing together and holding the line. After the Galactic Empire retreated from Earth's space, a calm returned to the planet. But beneath the quiet surface, a new strength had grown. Earth's people, leaders, and defenders knew that their world was now watched by many eyes across the galaxy. Some were curious friends, others cautious rivals, but all understood one thing clearly: Earth was off-limits. Mia stood on the observation deck of Earth's main defense station, looking out at the stars. The vast sky seemed peaceful, but she knew better. The galaxy was full of unknown dangers and strange powers. Yet Earth had made its mark, not by fighting a war, but by standing firm and united. At Earth's capital, President Helen met with the World Council to discuss the future. "We cannot hide forever," she said. "We must prepare to welcome those who come in peace and to defend ourselves if needed. Earth's strength is in its people, in their courage and unity. This will be our shield." As the Council agreed, Earth's secret defense fleet continued to grow. Old ships were repaired and new ships quietly built. Their designs were unusual, fast, small, and smart. They were made for surprise, not for show. Earth's engineers used new technologies learned from the strange encounters with the Empire, blending human creativity with lessons from the stars. One evening, Mia returned home after a long day. She passed children playing in a park under the stars. She smiled and thought about how far Earth had come. Once a quiet, simple planet, now a place respected and feared across the galaxy. She felt proud, but knew her work was not over. In the Galactic Council, the Empire's representatives worked to rebuild their image. Admiral Thorix had retired, but was often called to speak of Earth. His words were honest and careful. "Humans are unlike any other race," he told new officers. "They value kindness and strength together. Do not make the mistake of thinking one without the other is enough." Other galactic races began to approach Earth with respect. Diplomats arrived in Earth's orbit, greeted by peaceful signals and invitations to learn. Earth shared its knowledge slowly, always cautious, always watchful. Trade routes opened carefully, bringing new goods and ideas without losing the planet's safety. Maya was part of the teams that welcomed these new visitors. She saw in their eyes a mix of curiosity and respect. She knew Earth's warning was heard loud and clear. "Earth is not a place for conquest," she told one curious alien diplomat, "but it is a home for those who seek peace." Despite the peace, Earth's defenders never let down their guard. Regular drills, secret patrols, and new technologies kept the planet ready. Every person knew their role, some in science, some in defense, some in diplomacy. Together, they formed a shield stronger than any weapon. Far from Earth, in the dark corners of space, some whispered of plans to test Earth's defenses again. But none dared act openly. The galaxy had learned that Earth's warning was real, that the cost of ignoring it was too high. One night, as Earth spun quietly beneath the stars, Mia looked up at the sky. She thought of the children who had once greeted the Empire's landing, team with smiles and sandwiches. She thought of the unity that had saved their world, and she knew without doubt that Earth would remain off-limits, forever. The story of Earth's warning became legend, a lesson told across the stars. Respect, the line humans draw or face the strength of a world united.